some of the problems that I came across with that last one is like I basically went into Fruity Loops and trimmed every like breath and kind of like in between thing.
Damn.
And then I exported it so that I could put it into the or on top of the movie, like the MP4. And then I found out it was like out of time. Like it was good, and then it got out of time.
No.
So I had to go back into Fruity Loops, make sure that, and now that I sliced it, it's a shit ton of different
Every
slices.
single. I figured
So,
that's what you were meaning.
On both tracks, on mine and yours, I had to go in and make sure that all of the little slices were like
all lined up.
all lined
the
up.
timing was right.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
So it's just been a long thing, but I have been editing it, and it's pretty freaking sick, man. I cut some of the parts out, so it's like an hour long.
Good, because we went pretty long. Hour and a half or something, dude. Which is cool, man.
And there's definitely like a lot of good parts where it's like a decent chunk. It's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes uncut. But then mainly like even in the beginning and stuff, I had to put just a couple cuts and zest it up because like we kind of warmed up as the pod went on.
Yeah, I think I remember that too. I definitely felt that. It was like warm up.
Yeah, for sure.
Marathon or whatever they say. We were in we went the fourth quarter this time, bro. I feel like last time, the first pod we went, 30 minutes the first pod?
That was first quarter.
Yeah, we went a little
Second
bit.
time, yeah,
we
I was saying half time.
bro. Like, yeah, I definitely felt like it was warming up, you know? It was,
yeah.
No, that was sick, bro, for sure. Yeah, I'm sure a nightmare editing, though. Totally.
Yeah, but that's why I want to figure out how there has to be programs, bro. There has to be programs. Mm-hmm. The only thing I'm worried about with the programs is sometimes there's very specific things, right? So if it's a program that gets rid of all the space in between the clips, there could be a breath that it makes sense to have a breath there, right? Or if you hear like the background fridge noise and it's like me, and then you get rid of everything, then it's me when people start talking again.
Right.
So it's this whole thing that I'm learning, bro. We've only done 2 of these. This is our 3rd so far, and it's like there is a lot to learn, bro. But I think we'll get the process more streamlined to the point where like we're not going over the week. Because I was stressing hard, bro. Even though it's like only our first couple, I was like, we told him we're gonna be regular, and it's been over a week, and I was like fucking stressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then a part of me was like, bro, like you can't stress like that. Like you're trying your best to like edit this thing together, and you're coming across a lot of problems that were unseen.
Yeah. It's part of the process, man.
Yeah.
Just how things go, you know.
Yeah.
So that's good though. That's good you're having that mindset about it for sure. It's just trials and tribulations or whatever they say. TTs. Well, yeah.
TTs and GGs.
No, definitely, bro. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely gonna be a learning curve with this since it's just like going straight into it, you know. Not that there's like that much to it, thankfully. It's just kind of like talking, you know, and obviously getting to the point where you don't have to cut it as much when it's just like a constant flow. I think that's definitely a skill to develop that like podcasters have. They can just like go off the rip for hours.
It's gonna be so amazing once we do that.
Yeah, where it's just like straight up. I mean, obviously people that like go live and stuff like that too,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that'll definitely be a skill. I feel like we're kind of learning. Definitely, I definitely feel like it. Even for the 3rd pod, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's more natural because I mean, setup's sick, regardless, bro.
Yeah, it's very, very like cozy and chill. It's nothing too crazy.
Yeah, it's comfortable, and I feel like now it's kind of like more settled into it.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, bro, this is how this works. It's how this goes. You know, I feel like there's already more of a process to it than before, more of a structure to it already. On episode 3, bro, like, come on, dude.
We're not
killing
doing
it. Dude,
yeah.
You're killing it, bro.
No,
that's all I'm saying, dude.
We're not doing too bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. No, seriously. I think it's cool because, like, you know, seeing the vision that you had become fruitful, like, I felt like pretty quickly compared to, like, sometimes a lot of stuff is super grindy. This was like, I felt like once everything was set up and like really looking back at it, I'm like, hey, you know, like it wasn't too bad. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of good thought went into it, and it was a good starting point, and we kind of just did it. It felt like, you know what I mean? Like there's definitely some thinking and stuff to it, but I think the important part was just like doing it. you know, like actually when we were just like, yeah, we just got to link up and just set this stuff up. And
Yeah.
you've been really like good about that, you know, because I think you really like envisioned it, and it was just like, all right, let's just do it, and it's here, bro.
Yeah.
It's like kind of crazy.
That's so crazy, dude. Cause like, yeah, I've always wanted to have a pod, and like I never knew how it was gonna come. Like I did one with Sock Drawer Entertainment, which is the first time I met Frank.
I do remember, yeah.
And yeah, dude, and it felt good, and they were giving me compliments and stuff, and then I became a fan of podcasts, and then our thing happened, you know, where we were like working together and like seeing each other a lot more than before.
Right.
And I think it worked out, man.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's crazy, bro. It's something I'm still working on too. I think just being like, man, podcast is just to go with the flow kind of thing. I feel like too, it's a lot of just putting out episodes, like consistency. So that's cool that you're thinking about that too, because I think that's an important thing with the podcast. It's just dropping.
Yeah,
just a lot. Just
absolutely
consistently dropping. So I think that's gonna be a cool thing to like learn from, for me personally at least.
Well, and I don't know if it's like this for you, bro, but do you like watch? I know we only have one out, but have you like watched the episode back yet? Our first one.
Yeah.
Did you like take anything away or like learn anything from that?
Honestly, I mean, I wouldn't say take anything away or learn from it.
Not at all.
The thing I took away actually for sure was just I'm very visual, bro. I think the shorts definitely got me, and the podcast, seeing how clean it was, the whole thing like pieced together. You know what I mean? Just seeing the flow of it. Like I think that was cool for me, seeing the whole thing visually. Just like
the total.
it's like a total piece.
Yeah.
It's like the actual, you know, the actual podcast. I think that was the coolest thing for me, seeing the vision. I wasn't getting like too technical, if that makes sense. I was just kind of listening and like, yeah, man, you know, we're just talking and figuring it out for the most part. That's kind of like what I took away, I guess. And
that's such a healthy mindset to have.
Yeah, but for me, I was just like, dude, quality, clean, because I know that's an important thing, and I know that's important to you. So I was
sure.
like, I think that's awesome, man. And I already knew the convo was cool because like I'm comfortable putting it out. So I'm just like, convo is cool, man. I felt cool about it, not tripping about it. So, you know, so for me, yeah, it was just mainly, I think, seeing the visual of it. And then the second one, I think, seeing that we're capable of just talking and like getting more in the flow of like,
we did hit the flow
just
more.
Like, yeah, conversing on some pod, like in some
pod
ways, bro. On some pod. We don't do 420. Just kidding.
But one day in the future, we might do a thing. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll call it. We'll like, instead of pod or something, whatever, we'll say podcast.
There's got to be a podcast
yeah,
out
dude,
there.
slide it in there, dude. We're all like clean, and they're just like, what? What is this? The podcast.
But we don't smoke weed, bro. We eat pot stickers. That's why it's called.
Oh.
That's why it's called podcast.
No, we're on the same page with that one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. Nah, things have been cool, man. I'm glad we got a link and get together for this. The cool thing is, like, since the setup and all that's already done, it's just kind of like linking and sitting down and talking for an hour or whatever. Like,
yeah.
It's not much after that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like, it's cool. I think it's easier to at least fit it in the schedule. You know what I mean? It's not like too time consuming and too energy consuming either. I mean, sometimes I definitely want to come in on like good vibes. You know what I mean? Like be in the mood or whatever it is. But for the most part, yeah, it's cool. Just like being able to like, let's pop in for an hour and just like get creative and talk about some cool shit. You 100%. Know? Like, that's dope. I love that.
I do really enjoy it too, bro. And yeah, I don't know. Like, I'll get the same way. I'll want to show up to podcasts being like my best self, as cheesy as that sounds. Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought. Sorry.
No, you're good. I know what you're gonna say, but I feel like when you start talking, it gets better on the podcast instead of you know what I mean. It just flows, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because sometimes I'll have troubles with like certain things like to bring up or whatever. Sometimes I won't know like exactly like what to bring up.
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
You know?
I'm on the same page with that, bro. Cause I think that's why I'm tying it into like me like feeling up to it. To me being like, am I feeling like talkative and thinking about something creative, or am I about to just be boring as hell, bro? And just like, yeah, man, just whatever, like on some low energy or whatever it is. So I feel like yeah, to an extent, I want to be like in a mood to talk, but I feel like it's almost kind of like a like state you kind of lock into like when you're in the studio, when you're in the booth, you know what I mean? Like no matter what mood you come into, like once you're there in front of the mic, it's like, all right, man, it's time to like lock in.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably like the same mentality with the podcast, which I kind of been feeling once it's sitting down and it's like, all right, the record button's hit and we're talking. So it's like game time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that one's always been like, that's always been important.
I feel the same way because sometimes when you're recording music, you'll need, at least for me, like I'll need like a couple takes just to warm up and get like kind of comfortable.
Right.
Until like that thing can come out where you're not really focused on anything else except for the task at hand. Which is the same with the pod, you know? Sometimes you got to warm up a little bit. That's why I kind of like not having like a hard start, at least right now, to where it's like, hey guys, welcome back, like, and then just get into it from there. I kind of like us just like talking and then us figuring out when we want to start it. Like,
yeah,
I kind of like that for now, at least, like I said.
I think that's a pretty cool way to lay it out. It seems like a lot of pods do that too, if I'm not mistaken, that I've watched. Like even when I was watching Tiger Belly and stuff, I remember it being like they kind of, I mean, just a lot of them, honestly. Now that I think about it, you just watch it and they just they pop in at some point and it's like, hey, we recording now? And they're like, oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
true.
we've been recording. And they're like, oh okay, yeah.
And kind of the thing that motivated me for this was I heard Bobby Lee on a podcast as a guest, and he was just saying that with Bad Friends with him and Andrew's podcast, they kind of just go. They say whatever they want to say. They'll go do whatever, and then afterwards they'll figure out, you know, what they should cut because they'll get demonetized on YouTube and like what they want to keep, what they want to put on Patreon, you know. But yeah, to each his own, man, because then some podcasts are killer having it the way they have it with the big old intro. Like, say, Impact Theory, bro. It wouldn't really be Impact Theory without those intros.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the epic intros.
Crazy
the
intros.
Epic walkouts, yeah.
Man, that would be a little bit of an ego boost, man.
Yeah, it's true.
He just names off every accolade ever.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Imagine if he did ours right now. He's like, this kid got his GED in Rio Rancho.
What?
Or high school diploma.
He got his diploma. This day,
he worked at Albertsons.
Yeah. He just like, what? He just like finds your resume on Indeed or something like that.
He pulls a Nardwar.
Yeah, Nardwar, full of Nardwar. That'd be crazy, dude.
Dude, I did want to tell you about this one thing that I kind of got into lately. You know how like I kind of have the habit of getting into new things periodically?
Yeah, okay.
This new thing that I well, all right, bro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If you're going to give me an intro like that,
So,
I might as well just go fucking...
Yeah, okay. I meant it in the way of like yeah. No, I got you.
But it's called GeoGuessing.
Oh, I know this.
You know it?
Is
like
that
rainbow
with the geocaches and stuff, or is this is this the one where you guess the location
based off a picture?
Yeah.
You've seen that stuff?
Oh, dude, I watched some of those shorts. It's pretty cool. I watched
So
that one
sick.
dude that you probably know who it is.
Is that Rainbolt?
I have no clue what his name is. He just always guesses everything, and he's just like
He's like a skinnier dude.
insane.
He sees like a couple images, like
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we're talking about the same guy.
I mean, he'll see like just it just looks like a dust storm, and he's like, man, right here, and he's like, oh, of course. And
That's
he,
what
like,
I'm
gets
saying.
It, dude, and I'm like, all right, dude, it's insane.
It's so crazy.
Yeah, that might be his name. My bad. I have no clue what his name is. Sorry,
If it is the same guy, we'll check after.
Yeah.
But if it is the same guy, I started with his videos, and then I got into the GeoGuessr championships, where they have, dude, it was a rabbit hole I never thought I'd be walking down.
Dang, dude, I didn't even think about it. Is it like an esport, bro?
Brother, it's competitive, man.
Hey,
And,
no. I know it takes skill. Don't get me wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in a competitive.
It's like a tournament, dude. They'll have like 2 versus 2. That person goes up to the next person, right? And they rank it out in like a, what do they call those things? Like in basketball playoffs, when it's like the chart, is it a roster or is it where it has like, you know what I mean? It starts off with this many teams and it gets to 2. What is that called?
No, not standing. It's the
It's not a.
match plan. I actually don't know, and that's weird that I don't know that.
Well, we're gonna call it a roster game plan for now. You can grill us in the comments if you want.
I don't know. I just call it like. I mean, usually I just would refer to it as like whatever is the finals or semifinals or
Yes.
the final
Yes.
16. I don't know. I never am like, yo, look at that pictogram or whatever.
Pictogram.
I don't know what they fucking call it. I don't even remember what that is. I'm not gonna cap.
I've never heard that before.
Pictogram? It means something, dude. I've heard it
Pictogram.
from somewhere deep in my memory in some kind of schooling of some point in my life, bro. Yeah, the pictogram or whatever.
Dude, I'll have to look that up.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll call it the roster game plan.
The roster game plan.
Okay.
So they had one of those, right? And then they'll just go against each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw this one match that was crazy. I think it was the Blinky versus MK. Those are two guys. That was their match.
Okay.
And yeah, it was nuts, bro. It went into like OT or whatever.
No way.
However that goes. Yeah.
Went to OT?
But it was just interesting because it was the same thing. Random image. Some of them were harder than others. There were a couple where it was in the middle of just a field, so you really had to like guess it, bro.
Get real creative.
Yeah.
Oh, I see that kind of bush. I've seen some of those bushes over in like the eastern region of the world.
How do you know, bro?
Yeah,
you almost have
I
to be
have
like
no
a
clue.
biologist just to.
Yeah, you definitely have to be some kind of insane person to be able to
Screws
guess those.
loose.
Like to be able to remember all that. I wonder if it's
Sorry,
just like
guys.
I wonder if there's just some repetitive thing on it, or if they're just like just insane with geology.
We'll see if that's what they do.
Yeah.
They probably know some correlations, right? If you go to France and you see this one type of fence everywhere, maybe you know just from that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But man, bro, I would think it's just a lot of practice because you have to know the difference.
That's what I'm wondering, if they
Yeah.
straight practice so much. It's like, man, I've seen this image. This is number 4,825.
Oh, like that.
I just wonder how big the data bank is to
Mhm.
where at this point they're just
Yeah.
like, I know it.
I did hear one thing in the championships where they were talking about that they had a new set of images that they were using,
They would have to, right?
like a new update that scanned new areas or something.
Yeah, they would have to, especially for a tournament, have to be like images no one's ever seen that could practice on that app or whatever it is.
It just struck me as something very strange. Like I would never think that would be like a thing, an event. Is people guessing like Google Maps images or whatever.
Is there like a crowd watching this? Is it like,
There's
yeah,
there is a
He got
crowd. Yeah. Dude, yeah, okay, so when it went into OT and it got
What?
crazy, people were tripping.
really?
Because it was a close
Oh,
game, right?
Shit.
But yeah, they did do a couple pens to the crowd, and I looked at the crowd honestly, and I was like, this appears to be a lot of their family members. This doesn't seem to be like GeoGuessr enthusiasts,
Sure,
but
sure.
that was only through a couple shots. But there was a
Okay.
crowd.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I watch it and it gets a lot of views. It's interesting to me. I just didn't know if I didn't even know it was like competitive, I guess,
Yeah.
on the scene. But I could totally see how it would be because, like, I know there's a point system to it and everything. So
Yeah, dude. I'm just giving you a lot of like
That's
weird
crazy.
stuff that you could check out.
yeah.
Same with the brain frog.
So are you like going hard on the GeoGuessr?
Not hard. It was one evening, but it was very like.
Okay.
But I went.
But
I,
that one even
I
changed your
dipped my
life?
toes into the wormhole.
Oh, okay. Is that a saying?
No,
What?
it's when it's deeper than a pool, bro.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to still think about that. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and for sure.
Thanks.
Agreed.
I do appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. Okay. And then you said Brain Frog. Remind me again what's on his channel.
He was the one that experimented with AI NPCs in Skyrim.
I'm such a hater, dude. I should have remembered that.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Skyrim, dude, love it. People won't believe me now, but I know Brain Frog, dude.
Yeah, trust me, guys. He does love Skyrim.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Elder Scrolls 6, I got it touted. It just never comes out. Actually, no, bad idea.
I just realized my face might have been like behind this thing the whole time.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
dude.
really even
My face,
check
I have
this
no
out too
clue.
much.
All I know is my hair is just like, the whole time I'm like,
When I get the thumbnail, bro, this will just have to be a part of it.
I'll be all. At least I'm trying not to be like, be one of those people.
One of us has to do it, bro. Mine isn't long enough,
It
so.
just needs to be cut. I don't know if this happened overnight. I don't remember it being this far over my freaking face yesterday. And now it's just like, what's up? Jeez, dude.
It looks good though.
Yeah, no, it feels cool. I feel real, like, what's up, yeah?
Real like, bring me the horizon or something.
I'm like, yeah, I'm a skater. Nah, it feels good except for the hair getting it in my literal eye. That kind of is not great. But that's preference, really.
Do you think you'll? I know you mentioned earlier that you were gonna get a haircut. Do you think you'll cut it, bro? Or are you gonna grow it out? What's the vibe?
I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
When I leave here and walk over to my place, I'm gonna cut my hair.
How?
I'm gonna grab a pair of scissors and cut this at the very least.
Yeah. I mean that's so dangerous, bro. But I think you got this.
I'm not even worried.
Yeah.
I'm honestly gonna go do that when I leave here. Y'all will see the updated progress. I'll post something about it.
I got faith in you, bro.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do nothing about the side. I just need this doesn't make sense.
The side?
Yeah, the sides are fine. They're not that long.
Or the front? Which part doesn't make sense?
Oh, the front.
Dude,
the
what
top,
the fuck
dude.
is
This
happening
whole
with this
thing,
mic?
It's
right
just like, why is this so long and like the sides ain't that bad. It just grew out really fast on the top this time.
Bro, do you know what's happening? I apologize.
Is it not staying up? I'm all talking about my hair. I never talk about my hair, but today
Okay, we're good.
we're gonna be talking about.
Dude, my mic was not having it, bro.
Is it okay now?
You kept talking about it. It was just dropping lower and lower.
No, hey. It's all right, man.
Yeah, but the mic has never seen you with Jesus hair, bro. It doesn't understand the whole thing.
Okay.
But I do.
Just like that.
Yeah. Another thing, dude, it would be a sin not to bring up is that Bitcoin hit 100K.
Yes, it did. Woo! Honestly, very fast. I knew it would happen. I didn't think it would happen that quick. Is kind of where I was at.
Because we were just like putting some in a couple months ago when it was in the 50s, bro. And I remember us having the conversation at work of like, when do you think it's going to hit 100K? And we were like, I don't know, we'll see, but probably soon. We didn't know, of course,
right.
And it just shot up.
Mm-hmm. Crazy, bro. It's still riding around in the 90s and sometimes it goes over 100. It's crazy.
Do you think it's going to drop back down do you think it'll ever get back to the point where it's like 50-ish?
I actually don't.
No?
I actually don't. I don't think Bitcoin drops. I don't think Bitcoin drops lower than like 70. I don't know. I think
now that it's hit this threshold,
if we just double down on this and crypto gets bigger, which I think it will, I think that's gonna be a next big thing people put into. I think crypto's gonna explode even more. Hit 100K. I already know now that happened. People are gonna be talking about 1 million.
Yeah,
already a conversation.
That's the next benchmark.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure like getting to 200K would be absolutely insane, but I think overall, yeah. Now that people saw that it could get to 100K, and Bitcoin's not that old.
True.
It got there very quickly in the grand scheme of things, super fast.
When was it? It was like after we got out of high school, right? It was like in that period.
I think Bitcoin is. I might be totally wrong. I think it's 09. I might be.
Oh wow, so it's a lot older than I thought. Maybe it just hit my universe after high school where I started learning about it and came across it. That's old, bro.
Yeah, but like compared to like currencies,
Right.
You know what I mean?
And for being you're saying like as being a currency and being that valuable, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. I mean, it's only been like what 25-ish years,
That's a
close
good
to
point.
25 years.
Yeah.
It's like not that long compared to like gold or something. I don't know. Or just like the dollar, you know what I mean, or different currencies and stuff. It's I mean, for it to be that
Yeah.
valuable,
Can you think about, bro, like
that valuable is crazy.
the monopoly currency is older than Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's not worth anything. But
Yeah. No, that's true though. That's a good point. Monopoly money is older than Bitcoin. But like that's the crazy thing too is that Bitcoin is also more valuable than the US dollar, these things that have been around for a long time. At this point it is.
Yeah.
If you were to sell it, it is worth X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? It's worth more. That's the thing. So
yes, I mean, what if we're comparing one Bitcoin to $1, dude? It's insane.
yeah, and yeah, exactly. So it's just like Bitcoin's insane. If you had $1 in Bitcoin, it would already be worth, or depending on when you put it in, it'd be worth like a bunch of money too. You know what I mean? So like it's exponentially more valuable than $1 at this point. And that in the amount of time is crazy. In 25 years, it became exponentially more valuable than the dollar bill, in the sense of just straight value, like actual just in sense of currency exchange, it's that valuable. It's like essentially, I mean, it obviously depends on when you put money in and whatnot. It could also be the complete opposite.
In what way?
Bitcoin, if you bought it at 100K now and it does drop down to 50,
Yeah,
it's actually not very valuable for you.
that's true.
So that's the risky thing that people got to think about when investing into it, but it has the potential to be insanely valued compared to the dollar.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
It helps for sure if you're investing and you have the skill of being able to not freak out during dips, right? This is what everybody says is like,
Yeah.
don't pull everything out just because it dips. Like, realize that that's a part of it.
Oh,
As
yeah,
long
yeah.
as you have faith in the thing, if you just leave it in there,
Yeah, exactly.
it's probably the way to go.
Well, yeah, that's what they say. If you're into stocks and crypto and stuff like that, they always say that it's not about timing the market, it's time in the market. So if you go longevity, it's just safer that way. People that are day traders and stuff, though, they worry about dips and stuff like that. That's where they make their money. It's just very, very, very risky.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of years to actually get good at that. Like, to be able to read charts to the best of your ability and beat the experts. Like, it's very hard to do that. So it's best for just the average person and most people to just, like, invest long term. And that just means consistently putting in so that you buy the curve. And yeah, you just consistently put in. You don't really have to worry about it depending on what you put your money into. And I think, I think that's like the move with all that kind of stuff. Time in the market. You don't worry about dips and stuff. When there's a dip, you just buy more. That's what it is. Because the way that the graphs work, if you really look at them, and most people know this, it's the freaking emoji. It does this. Graphs do this. It goes up, down, and it hits certain points. But overall, as long as it's overall going up, long term, your money's gonna be more valuable. You just have to know how to, be smart with it. You definitely, I mean, there is an aspect to when you put your money into, which is early and often.
Yeah.
Early and often.
It's just harder earlier, right? Because then you have less of an idea if it's going to be successful or not.
Totally. I mean, yes, but as long as you listen to people that are experts and as long as you read charts, which are very basic, and you just look at history, it's very easy to understand the things that have worked, and you can bet on things. I mean, it just depends on what you want to bet on. If you bet on the S&P 500, it's like, okay, well, the last 50 years, it's returned this X amount. This is the average. I'm more than likely gonna work out on this.
Exactly. It's like when you're looking at that chart and you can go from like an hour, a week, a day, like a month, a year. Like you want to look at the all-time one to get like a good
yeah, exactly.
Good feel.
So that's the thing. Just invest in stuff. that's been around for a long time and has always returned money. You just do that.
And it's super cool for like people because it's just somewhere, if you're smart about it and you put your money in the right one, it's something that you can do passively to make money, which is a great opportunity because a lot of the times nowadays we just exchange time for money.
Yeah.
Which is not the most efficient way to make money. So it's cool that like even if you have a 9 to 5, you're doing whatever you're doing, you can still put some into Bitcoin or whatever it is, SMP,
Yeah.
and still make money while you're not doing anything. You know?
Yeah.
It's a very like base entry thing that you can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, then it does, in a sense, can create passive income. It's just like less active, really. You just let your money more or less work for you, and that's the thing, which is cool. Is nowadays people can do that. You know what I mean? Like it was a lot harder to do that back then. Like we have a cell phone, it's easy, bro. If people really want to, and they want to see where they want to invest stuff, just literally look up something and just be smart about your research.
Yeah,
And that's it. And
it's
you
true.
could be investing right now, which is cool. It's way harder back then. You just download an app and you put your money into it.
Yeah,
Pretty cool, you know? If you know what you're doing, but also some people like really mess up on it. People that are bad with money, do not do it.
yeah,
At all. I mean, still though, even if you're really bad, if you just dump all your money to the S&P and you don't pull it out, I can guarantee that almost guarantee that you'll go a positive something.
mm-hmm. Because like you were saying, that's been the overall trajectory for the past however long.
Yeah, it's just long term. All these millionaires and billionaires, currently and in the past, that invest in that stuff, like they'll tell you that that's just how it works. They've had their money sit in the market for a long time, and it builds. It's compound interest. If you know, that's like a very basic principle with that stuff. Compound interest, your money just keeps compounding, and you make more money by leaving it in something. That's how retirement accounts work too. So it's like a thing that a lot of people actually do. I think a lot of people nowadays don't really think about it as much. Like in that sense, it's just like you don't have to have a retirement account in the way where you could just have like your personal account. That's basically what it is. That's what the stocks is. That's what you're doing with your retirement account.
Mm.
You're putting it. You're literally doing it. That's literally what it is. It's generally in stocks and stuff. It goes up and down, everything too. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think that stuff, it's good to learn that stuff now because it's super easy compared to what it used to be, and it's just how it works. It just works like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just works like that. At this point, that's how it works, and as long as you understand that, then it's just like it doesn't feel that bad not to bet in it. Now it's riskier with the new stuff because there's not a lot of info about cryptocurrency. It hasn't been around long enough, so there's not a lot of longevity. I'm betting on the longevity, and it's way more risky compared to other stuff. It's paying off right now, but it could literally tomorrow just tank, and everyone's like, "Wait, something's corrupt. They're taking our info, and it could just be super bad." Who knows? I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. It could totally happen.
Yeah.
Or just because it's unrealized gains.
Yeah.
That's the problem with having the money in there. You never know. Like the whole system could shut down at some point, or something could happen.
Yeah, that's the one thing too. But
And
it's if you have a okay amount of faith in it, I would say.
Yeah, and I got
try
faith
it.
in it.
Yeah.
100% have faith in it. Because like if the system fell down anyways, your dollars wouldn't matter anyways. So it doesn't matter whether it's in an account or your assets are what matters at the end of the day. Like if the real system went down and credit cards didn't work anymore,
Yeah.
People are like, all right, well, I would have, cash and whatnot to use. At some point, people are going to be like, we don't need cash. We need food. They start trading again. It goes right back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I got collectibles, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll always have enough collectibles to change for some
collectibles.
some chips.
I love that, dude. Yo, come on, dude. Look at this Funko,
Come on, bro. I got this limited Venom, bro.
Well, that's the thing. That's why investing in stuff like that is risky, although that's more or less just some of it. Like, there's more fun behind the collecting and stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
Obviously.
That's
Bitcoin is there to make you there to make that money. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Like collectibles and all that is just a level of fun above that, but also a level of you might not make as much money off of it, depending on how you go about it. Some people make it their whole lives, bro, but
yeah. Yeah, and there's stuff you can look into as well to like kind of know what's popular or possibly going to be popular.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's kind of some of that too with all that. But yeah, I know it's crazy to see like I think just the stuff that's valuable changes over time, and it's interesting to see that a cryptocurrency is so valuable.
Yeah.
That's super interesting to me, bro. That it's like 100,000 for one. That's like insane. Literally one.
That is so crazy. Yeah, and I also feel like too if you feel like it's too late cuz you're like, "Oh, it already hit like 100K." Like don't feel like that cuz even a few months ago people were feeling like it was too late for Bitcoin or whatever it is. Just like
Mm-hmm.
as long as it's not at a crazy price, I would say it's probably not too late and you can probably still benefit off of it.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the thing too. The only way to benefit off these things is to put in a lot of money. Your
Right.
hundred
Cuz the
dollars, you're gonna be like, oh, what the hell? Because even right now, I'm up like 80%, which is insane. But even if like you put in $100, you're only gonna be up $80. You're not gonna be like
Mhm.
swimming in money.
The more you put in, the more you get out
Yes,
if
so
it goes well.
that's the thing. But put in stuff that you're willing to put in. Like just don't risk it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the main thing with people with any investment, with anything in life. You should always look at the ROI, which is return on investment with anything you do in life. That's the advice like I would always give anybody. Is think about how it affects your stuff long term. Does it make sense to learn these things? What do you need to work on? What is your return on your investment? Because there's like three things you can really invest, which is your time, your money, and your energy. And like there's different ways people invest it. Like you said earlier, people like will work for their time, or like
Yeah.
they'll use their time to make money. Some people make a lot of money so they have more time. Stuff bounces off, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
People that get more money can get better food, have more energy, blah 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 blah, all this
Yeah,
kind of
and
stuff.
everyone probably goes through some type of version of that in their lifetime with any type of balance, right? It's like if you really need money, then you work really hard and get the money, but then you're in that mode of working really hard, so you start to neglect relationships and stuff. And then you have to learn from that and like consistently
Yeah, where you gonna
like
put your
balance
energy,
yourself
what
out.
relationships you put energy and stuff into. That's all it is, bro. Is those are the three things you can invest in life, and you just have to find the balance in which you invest those things,
Yeah.
and that is the return that you get from it. That's like the what you put in and what you get out.
So that's the ROI. Like you can put in these three things. If you put in any of these three things, what will you get
Well,
back?
you get back,
Yeah.
and there's a different formulas and stuff you do to it. Maybe you're like,
Yeah.
I know if I work this X amount of hours, I'm gonna make this much money. It's more risky when
Yeah.
you're like, I could potentially make this much though if I just put my money. I don't have to do any time. But then again, I had to work for this money, so you're also investing all those hours you worked, and that's the hard thing for people with crypto and stuff like that. Is it's money that they already spent all this time on, and then
Mhm.
now they're trying to risk it and reinvest it by also they're spending a lot more time and money than the average person would be.
Yeah.
But they're investing and at least putting the money into something that has potential to be better than just blowing your money on XXX, whatever it is. And I think that's the thing where a lot of people are at is they don't really know how to invest because they're not thinking long term. Like life's it's a marathon. Like Nipsey
Mhm.
said, it's all
Right.
long term. You got to think long term plays, 5-year plans. What are you doing today that changes what happens next week, next month,
Yeah.
next year?
And I get when people don't think about that, but things will be better off if you do think about that. And I was also thinking about when you were talking about ROI, dude, like it could really be like anything, right? Like you could just like volunteer at like a homeless shelter. But
Mm-hmm.
then like your ROI would just be like the happiness that you get out of it. So
100%,
it could
bro.
be like applied to like almost everything.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's the return you get back, whatever that is. Absolutely, that's a great point that you bring up, bro. Because yeah, it's not just. It's usually obviously used in a business money talk. That's usually when it's used,
Hmm.
but totally, I absolutely agree on that. It's just what you get out. What you put in, what you get out of life. Absolutely, what
Yeah.
experiences.
Yeah, like experiences, I'm gonna chill with my friends or my family because it's gonna make me feel more connected.
Mm.
Like anything like that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you can invest all that. And to me that's that falls under, like I said, the three things, that's energy. Like that's really a big
Mm-hmm.
thing. That's where you put your effort, your energy, whatever you put that into. That one's very important too, cuz we all have like certain amount of energy in the day. It obviously gets different as you get older and stuff too. That's why it's important to do stuff when you're younger. You know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
why to get your ROI though, you got to invest early. You got to also be willing to invest and see what happens. Just like
Yeah,
be willing to be like, okay, what do I get out of this? What's the return?
it's
So
true.
investing early in, and that's I think the way life is set out. So do stuff when you're young and try to plan for the future.
Yeah.
Don't I mean, it's don't live in the moment for sure, but also just think about, how everything is gonna affect how you live in the future. If you're if you're planning on doing all this stuff in the future and living a long life, having a good life, like this is a fraction of it at our age. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I try to remind myself of that often. Just like, hey, dude, like, you're going to look back in like a few years and be like, dang, like, do you remember that one time? Like, dude, you were as young as you were ever going to be. Like, you had all this like time and opportunity. Because
Right.
I've even felt that way now about a couple years ago when I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
damn,
yeah.
dude, you really squandered that
Yeah.
like opportunity. You could have like
Yeah.
kind of built that up a little bit more and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
it's interesting, man, because then, yeah, it's like you're always going to do that. You're always going to look back and evaluate. So you might as well make it decent so that when you do go back and evaluate, because it's inevitable, that'll
Yeah.
at least be like a decent experience.
Yeah, exactly, man. You don't want to like be filled with regret and stuff. And then also like if you do plan certain stuff for your future and you act in the present, then you can almost kind of predict certain patterns in the future that are going to happen. And that's just thinking the long term. So I think that's really where the power is in that, versus like I mean, if you have that mindset too, you're not even really looking at what's happening in the past. You know what I mean? Which I think that's the most important thing, is being so heavy like in the present moment. How does this affect my future? That's what
Yeah.
matters, is present and future. What is this current moment doing to affect my future?
Yeah.
And trying to also be in the moment, but also intertwine those two. You know what I mean? Because it affects your future, obviously, what you do in the present moment. So I think that connection is super important. And if people looked at it like that, they would think about their ROI. Like, what are they putting in right now? What are they investing? How much time are they
Yeah.
wasting? And that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people, they waste time. They just get in this weird rut, and there's so much to do in life. Like, I don't want to see people waste time. I think that's a big thing people will regret is wasting time, because that's one thing you invest, you don't get back, man. Also, you don't get any energy back when you
Yeah.
get older. So it's like, invest this, man. You might have a lot of money when you're older, but then you don't have that time and that energy no more. So it's finding that like balance, that exchange in life, to where to like find how you want to live your life. I think to me that's like the little formula, little chemistry, like because when you prioritize things, that's what you're doing too. You're prioritizing your time, money, and your energy. When you're like, all right, I'm willing to work 30 hours a week, boom, you just put a timestamp on it. And I'm willing to make this much money, boom, you just put a money stamp on it. And I'm willing to do this type of job because this is the kind of effort I want to put into this because I like this. So then you're deciding your energy where you want to be. Like, we're investing those three every day. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We're really investing those, but some people don't realize it.
Yeah, and it's crazy how many problems come down to people just not, and I've been totally guilty of this too, but just not being like honest with themselves and just like looking at their life in a matter of fact type of way instead of being so like invested in it,
Mm-hmm.
to where like they can't see that like some of the problems they might be causing and stuff.
Yeah, it comes down to like formulas and stuff. Really, when you look at it, I think if you look at it from that perspective, at least for me, I'm just speaking from what's helped, me and my perspective and what I believe in. But it's helped me at least think like from that kind of mindset where it's like, there's cause and effect, there's reasoning behind why things are the way they are. And I think being able to develop that, I think it's a skill. And if you develop that, then it just makes life a lot easier to understand things. And then once you understand things, you break it apart to the point where it's like, oh, these are all the pieces I can play, which is back to like, what are you trying to invest? Like the way that I just broke it down for me was to create, like, think about it in those three ways. Like I'm saying, those three things. So I always think about, what am I putting in with all these
Time,
things? What am I
energy,
getting?
money.
Yeah. Where's it coming? Like obviously we always refer to it too in life so much. Like when people say you got to put in your 10,000 hours, but like it's everywhere, bro.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what we invest in life. And I think by thinking, breaking things down and trying to understand them, then it makes life a lot less stressful, because then you understand the pieces you're working with. It's hard to build a puzzle and paint the picture when it's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how this has been created. I don't know the bits and pieces of it, the important parts. And I think that's like an important thing for people to find, at least even for me too. Something I'm working on all the time. Because for me, I think life goes by like super fast when it's just repetitive, and I don't have like, I'm not constantly paying attention to how I'm investing stuff.
Yeah, because like, each day doesn't like mean something. It's kind of like just a means to an end.
Exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, bro. And then the days start mashing together.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang, I didn't do anything different, because you didn't plan it. And to plan, you got to think about your future and what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I want to do this day. Yeah. It's like I'm using this 24 hours, that amount of time, to do this activity. Like, this is what I want to do.
And it's so like, it's necessary to know that it's possible too, so that you have that idea of that feeling in mind, because then it helps you so much, dude, like work towards it when you know kind of how it's gonna feel when it's done, like the good feelings of it. Mm-hmm. Instead of just kind of doing it because you think it's the right thing to do and stuff. If you really have those emotions behind it, you'll probably be a lot more likely to act upon it.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point you bring up. And that's funny enough that, like, emotions are like, in a sense, energy. It's like where there's certain brain waves and certain patterns and certain things that are being activated in your brain. You're using energy to fucking actually like be in that emotion. It takes energy to be sad and angry and happy and upset. There's like euphoria, is that kind of energy, like that feeling you get from being happy, and then getting mad, you're tired after, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're absolutely right. That's an aspect of it where it's like the emotional connection to certain things is that energy. I think that's something that we do invest in. I think that's how we create connections. That's one of those things, is that energy. Like, that's how people, I think, relate, and that's with emotions, because that's understanding. And like I was saying, by breaking down and understanding, you have to use emotions, because we all have that. That's something we all have. Yeah. It's obviously, that's why people refer to IQ and EQ. The emotional quota is very hand in hand with IQ. Being able to efficiently deal with the emotions and use that energy almost in a way that's productive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because depending on your energy state, that's what you'll put your energy into. If it's like anxiety and stuff, your energy is going to be put into like more anxiety.
Yeah, man, it like zaps it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But it could be the other way around as well.
Yeah. But like how you were saying, if you're doing something that you have emotional connection to, and like you're happy and you're having fun, you get like a whole different boost of energy. It's crazy, man. So it's almost like you almost get more energy when you're investing into doing stuff that you actually to where your energy is actually being used efficiently. Yeah. We always talk about energy, even in the current state of the world. We're always talking about renewable energy. Energy's everywhere. The sun, it's everywhere, and we utilize it in certain ways. And that's why I'm saying I think there's a certain way to be more efficient with that as well, and being more in tune with your emotional connection to it. Because I think that's important. Absolutely, that's how we make connections, is through emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's how you could get motivated too, whether it's good or bad emotion. Whether it's the emotion of like, there is no fucking way I'm ever going to be in this place again, or like, I'll prove them wrong or whatever, like all negative emotion, that can fuel you, or it can be good to where it's like, oh, I can't wait until this happens and I can put this out, because then this and that, and it's more positive. But whatever you have, it's like you could work with it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's cool you brought that up. Like I always talk about the positive and negative perspective. That's it. It's like you can take what the situation is, and then it's like, are we going the negative route, positive route? What are we trying to turn this into? But you have to be able to break it down and understand the emotion, and then be like, okay, I'm upset because this is going on. But to be able to understand, sometimes you have to get upset. Sometimes it's like hand in hand. So I think emotions are important in that way.
Necessary, yeah.
Yeah, man. So you realize it, and you're like, why am I feeling bad about this? Or why am I feeling sad or uneasy about this? So then you actually look into it, because something feels off.
Yeah, and they say that our emotions are there to guide us.
Mhm.
So if you're feeling bad about something, you should probably address it and change it instead of trying to like just overlook it or whatever
Yeah,
the
and
case
and
is.
at least see, because you never know. You could be like, "Oh, I'm just feeling, anxious because this happened last time, but now that I'm looking at it, everything's okay. We got to set up front."
Yeah,
You
or
know?
I'm just feeling anxious because I'm thinking about this one thing that could go wrong like 1,000 times in a row. And then you kind of like get yourself ready for it to go wrong, and then it probably will.
Yeah. And that's the thing though, is with emotion in those circumstances like that is you have to, it's like the yin and yang of it too, where you also have to have the logical state, because it doesn't make sense if we're straight emotional and straight logical. There's hand in hand. Like people can't just be straight logical. You got to think about emotional, because everybody is emotional. But if you
Yeah.
go from just an emotional state, then you can actually make decisions that logically don't make any sense.
That then there's no like discipline, because the things that like we don't want to do are pretty much always the things that we have to do.
Yeah. I mean, and think about like the example you said, for example, if someone's just like, I've done this 100 times and it hasn't worked, and I'm feeling like it's not going to work again. Then you have to go logical mind. Why is it not working? That's when you can actually use that emotion and energy in an efficient way. If it's just in a way where it's like it just doesn't work. No. Like, why doesn't it work? That's why logic and
Right.
emotion are hand in hand. So important,
Yeah.
because that emotion sparks you to find the logic of the situation. You're like, man, why isn't this working? I'm frustrated. Why isn't it working? I'm gonna figure this out now. That often fuels people to figure it out. There's certain things that can make people figure it out. It's like, all right, I'm uncomfortable. I want to learn this, or for whatever reason it is. But you have to have that emotion of like, I want to learn this for X amount of reasons. I feel this way about it, and then it switches to the logical
Yeah.
mind, and they fuel each other hand in hand. Because then you gotta think, if someone's straight logical, it's cool to think logically too, but then you gotta be like, people do just have breakdowns, emotionally, and there's this stuff that goes on, and people feel down and psychotic. Then you have to come from a more empathetic mindset, that's where you gotta understand emotion. You can't just be straight logic. You gotta be like, nah, man, this person's feeling upset, and there's gotta be a reason this person's feeling upset. But to be able to accept that or realize that, like, people get upset, you gotta be like, people do get upset, and that's okay. Now let me figure it out why this person's upset. So you still gotta be able to be capable of thinking from both perspectives, because if you're just straight logical, then you're just not gonna have that connection with people.
Yeah. And again, the balance.
Yeah,
You have to do a little bit
absolutely.
of both to make the gears go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just finding, how the balance works and where to use it and whatnot. Because obviously, there's times when you're like, got to use more logic. And I just think they're hand in hand. Logic and emotion, I think, are almost in every decision we make. I think they all
Hmm.
stem from something like that. Usually, if
Yeah,
you
they're
want
hand
to,
in hand, but also opposite.
yeah, exactly. It's very interesting. But yeah, we always utilize them a lot of the times too, and I just think people don't break stuff down to look at it in that way. And I think for me at least, it's helped to break things down in a way it's like, okay, I can understand that.
100%.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's emotion, there's logic. How am I using this? Because to me, those are almost like two other things to kind of invest. Is like, okay, I can invest, like, or utilize, I should say, the different parts of your brain and stuff too. It's like, okay, I can think logically from this side of the brain and more creatively from this side, or emotionally from this side, or whatever it is, you know. Um, and I think that's important, because the brain's crazy, bro, and there's all these different parts going on, but they all are important, and it's a muscle at the end of the day. So if you can learn how to train your own brain, I guess, to think thoughts in a certain way, it's totally possible. It's totally
Yes.
possible.
Because we're creatures of habit. So
Yeah.
it's like, it sucks. And I feel for people out there that have created a negative pattern for themselves, because
Yeah.
it's like hard to get out of and stuff, but you can get out of it.
Yeah, that's the thing to know, is and to think that right there comes from an emotional place, right? Where you're saying it's like, I can, but it also comes from a logical place, because it's like, people have
Mm.
got out of this situation. It's like, whatever. I have two alcoholic parents. It's like, well, logically thinking, people have got out of this situation and done
Yeah.
this, and that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's like Abe Lincoln was born on a dirt like floor, bro. It's like,
yeah,
a lot of issues with a lot of great people.
yeah. So I think that makes more of a connection, and with people as well. That's why I think logic and emotion's cool, because you can relate to people just on experiences in life, or your perspective on life too. You know what I mean? I think that's a big way to relate to people, which takes just how you feel and also how you think, you know? And I think that's, for me, that's the people I like to, you know, converse with and hang out with is just like interesting people that have like perspectives that are fueled by their own logic and emotion. And it's not from some place of like actual not understanding and just reading like headlines. Because some
Yeah.
people are afraid to get to that place, man. Some people are like, I don't understand myself. I'm not comfortable with myself. And they don't go into the why am I not comfortable with myself?
Yeah.
That's where the logic comes in and understanding emotions. And I think that's the power move is those two together, man. The IQ and the EQ just being more efficient with like, okay, what's really going on? There's reasons why we feel certain ways about things, you know. It's not just like you feel this way because you feel this way. There's always reasoning behind stuff.
Yeah.
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 At least in my belief.
I believe so too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's always like help me if I'm ever feeling like too much emotions or whatever it is. Just because I see a lot of people like that. And I'm bringing this up because obviously like last couple of months and just a lot of my life, there's been like a lot of people going through stuff like that around me. So I think maybe for me, I kind of wanted to figure it out to be like, how can I help the people around me and how can I understand this? Because it seems to be a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or something that needs to like, I need to figure it out or address it, I guess. So that for me has always been cool. And that's thinking that long term is like, all right, we can break this cycle and figure it out. And I think by having that, the goals, planning, the mindset, and what you're putting in, you have a whole game plan to life right there, bro. That's my life game plan, y'all. I know I went off on a tangent, but that's my game of life. Like, I don't know, man. Like, for me, breaking it down like that has made it to where it's more like, yeah, it's like a game. It's easier to understand. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, because when you don't break things down, you don't understand them, it's like you're just in the dark, bro.
yeah, and I think that's
You don't
I
know
think
what the
that's
fuck
where
is going
I
on.
don't know how if this is how you feel about it, but I think that's where anxiety like really comes from is being in the
Mm.
like unknown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of like my anxiety comes from like thoughts of like thinking about bad potentials that could happen or
Okay.
bad things that might have happened,
So that's kind of like being
and then like being like stuck to where like you feel like you can't get out of that pattern,
mm,
you know?
mm-hmm.
And then, but that's why I think that meditating is so important because if you really put your focus on it, you can break out of that pattern. And
Yeah.
then, like we were talking about with the energy earlier, then you feel that energy first as a boost and then you can like redirect it. But it's something that you really have to work at because if you have
Mm,
developed the pattern of anxiety, like from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, like it's going to take a while to break through it. But it's like there's no other better thing that you can be doing because
mm-hmm.
that's going to affect everything in your entire life.
Right. Okay. So yeah, so to me it seems like the anxiety is coming from a sense of not knowing how something will pan out, right? Like not
Yeah, or
knowing.
maybe already panned out bad. It's just fear.
Yeah, it's like okay, so that yeah, fear of like how something will pan out. Yeah, the thing I remember that helped me a lot was that is realizing we never know what the other outcome could have been. You know what I mean? We look back at stuff and be like, man, that went really badly. But it's like, would the other way have gone better or worse? We actually will never know.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, it's good to have that thought. I think anxiety can be used in a way where it's like, I'm actually anxious about this. Why am I anxious about this?
Yeah.
Let me figure that.
It's just if it's stopping you from doing something, then I would say look into it. Like if you're gonna go to a party, but
yeah.
then you're like thinking about way too much about like when I walk in, who am I gonna see? Are they gonna dap me up? Like just all these things.
Yeah.
You're just gonna ruin it, you know,
Yeah, exactly. Because I think
if you think about it too much.
yeah, I think you get uncomfortable and you don't go in with confidence how you truly want to, and that's all just from how you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And where we think is like the direction we direct our life.
Right.
That's something I've been realizing lately.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, and honestly, and I mean, everything too, the way we think is just from past experiences. So it's very interesting to try to change. The only time you can change your perspectives in the present moment. Only time, which is very interesting.
It's crazy too, like when you've been caught up in the mind and stuff, and then you finally come across the present moment, and you're just like, oh my gosh, dude. Thank you.
Totally. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense because I just asked because I see that one being like a thing like anxiety a lot. I just see people having more anxiety. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just my perspective on it, but it seems
No,
like
it's
anxiety is like a thing with a lot of people.
it's a
Just
thing,
our
man.
age, man.
It's a thing. I think social anxiety in particular has been on the spike just because, the typical thing, people are on their phones. They don't, if you're in a waiting room or plane or really any circumstance, you don't talk to people. You kind of go to your phone, and so that makes any social situation more anxiety provoking if you have less experience in them, right?
Yeah, that's very yeah, totally, bro. Because confidence comes from having. I like Alex Ramosi says this by having undeniable proof that you can do something.
Same with Goggins, like his mental cookie jar. It's like if he's doubting that he can do something, he'll think back about all the times where, like, remember that time you thought you couldn't do this and you fucking did it. But that's why it's so important to build those
Exactly.
times up so
Yep.
that you have something to draw from. So it's not like, oh well, every time I've been a complete pussy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly, dude. Exactly.
you have to have
bro.
some good shit.
Yeah. So you just have to try it and be like, I'm just gonna take the chin. Like I'm just gonna take it on the chin. Like here, if this is a bad one, I'll take the L. And it's good that I took the L, because there's a potential W. And you never know. Like you actually,
Yeah,
it's still a W
it's
because
true.
you're learning something from it, regardless. And that's the thing. You stack up more lessons that you've learned, and just by having that already makes you a more confident person, because it's not only it works, but it doesn't work, which is
Yeah,
arguably just as good.
for sure.
Yeah, because sometimes that often points to the direction of what does work. You're like, damn, I fucked up bad. That doesn't work, but that means this does work.
It relates to so many things, bro. Like with Thomas Edison making the light bulb, it was like his whatever thousandth or 10,000th try.
Yeah.
With doing the podcast, it's like with these first couple, there's like a shit ton of fucking issues that I'm trying to overcome on the technical side.
Right.
So it's like there's just a lot, dude. And yeah, like you were saying, every time just chisel it up a little bit cleaner. You know what I mean? And then try new things, develop new things, and do it, because things have been done before and you can do them too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a big thing, is by having that. That's just a logical perspective. That'll take you out of just being in the emotional one.
Yeah.
And being like, no, let me actually think about it. And then it's like, oh, cool, man. And then you get in like almost this mindset where it's like, I am upset about this, but I'm going to do something about it. And I think that's so powerful, man. I think when people draw from that, that's using that emotion to the best way possible, in my opinion. That's using it the best way possible, is using it in the positive of like, I'm going to make this one work for me and for my people. Is like, yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm actually sad right now. I'm anxious. I don't like this, but I'm actually going to do something about it because I'm feeling that much about it. And I think that's turning points in people's lives, bro, when they finally do that. Like all the stories I hear, just from motivational people, whoever it is, there's always that turning point when they were like, I just did it. I got to the point, breaking point, whatever you want to call it, where it's like emotionally, some people are like, man, I can't do it anymore. Got to flip the script. And sometimes it pushes you into that. That's why I think emotional stuff can be super powerful, man.
Yeah, and it's tough, but like that's why it's rock bottoms are good, because it's like it puts you in the point where you're like, okay, this is just total shit. Like I need to do something to like get it. So that's why the rock bottom's not bad. It sucks.
Not bad,
but it's like, yeah, it's a guidance thing.
It's exactly, and as long as people use it as a guidance, because it happens to a lot of people, but it shouldn't. It's not meant to happen a lot in that sense, to where if something happens to you, or you're in a mindset emotionally, at some point you have to get to the point where it's like you have to get over it, I guess. I don't know if over it sounds like the right word, but logical. You right?
Yeah,
just inhaling water.
Yeah, you know what I mean? When it kind of goes down weird and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like that. I was trying to stay afloat, though.
Sorry, dude. Just inhale the oxygen. That's what I try to do.
Makes you feel alive. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, how is this couch setup, bro? Do you think it's decent for now? I know we're going to change it up once we get guests on, but...
I think it's cool. It's a pretty comfortable couch.
Can you, like, look pretty easily and stuff without it being too, like, strenuous and all that?
Yeah, I don't think so. As long as I
Tight.
do, like, this little arm thing, I'm like, yeah. I do feel like yeah, no, I think it's comfy. It's a cool couch. I do like the setup with this. I like how you can move it, get all crazy.
Dude, these things are freaking awesome, man.
And yeah, no, it's good, I think, bro. I think it's comfy. It's cherry for first pod.
First pods.
Well, yeah, I mean, first podcast, because there'll be plenty in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, like, different brands, different stuff. there'll be the whatever pod, and then the whatever pod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we could be on some as guests.
Yeah. That's
You
what I'm
know,
saying.
that'd be
Yeah,
really
yeah,
fun.
Yeah. So this is,
Go
I
to
guess.
LA, do the circuit.
Yeah. Yep. Get crazy. That'd be actually insane to be a guest on the pod.
Right?
Man, that'd be interesting. Yeah, we should try that out. See how that works.
I'm down with it, bro. I'm
Yeah.
down with it.
I definitely want to get on one. That'd be fun.
And like I said, we also got to get people on here. And I did find the part we need. It's an interface that has 4 XLR plugins and 4 headphone things.
Oh, cool.
Headphone jacks. I think the headphones would help us because I noticed in the audio, sometimes we'll get pretty low and then we'll get pretty high. And if we did have headphones, we'd be able to kind of self-correct and do our game, which would help me later on.
Yeah, definitely. Because I definitely feel like I get like that. Well,
But at the same time,
I'm fucking hype.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like headphones, I've just never really used them. I guess I'm just not like used to them or
They're cool, bro.
whatever.
Trust me.
Yeah.
You look fine in headphones, bro. It's okay.
Okay. With the cans on,
Just make sure they clean, bro.
for sure.
No, headphones are cool, bro. They're comfy. Just get a cool pair, and it'll probably be the move.
We should try it at least.
I think we should try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I see a lot of people using headphones for the most part. I think.
A lot of people do. It's very split.
It is
I noticed
kinda
even-
split, huh?
Yeah, dude. And a lot of the times when people go on other people's podcasts, they'll ask them like, "Do you usually like wear these?"
What's the use?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to ask you too, bro. Before we wrap and stuff, did you have anything that you wanted to cover?
Not really, man. The only thing I'm thinking is I want to come with some more, I guess, ideas for pods. That's the only thing I want to say that I definitely want to work on with stuff. Like coming with more, I guess, notes. I know I've been saying this probably everyone, but
Well, I mean, and that's cool, and I think you should, and I think we'll also get it to the point though where, you know, this one was even better in that way where we can just like
or maybe I
riff
just need to
with
do more
each other.
stuff. Yeah.
Just to the point where like it helps you just to have a couple in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
Like if
That's
we
what
need
I
it,
need
but
to
at the
do.
same time, like we could just kind of riff and
Yeah.
because that's what I would like obviously to have some episodes where it's like a specific topic so we can really like either research it or dive into it.
Exactly. Well, cause that's what I'm feeling like is like I want to talk about some real interesting stuff, but I think I just got to do more interesting stuff. I think that's the thing, dude. I think that's what it is really.
gotta
It's not
start
even
doing-
writing
yeah.
more notes, cause then I'm just gonna write like weird facts, and that's just like I mean there might be some funny stuff there, but I'm like yeah I actually want to like experience some fun stuff. Like well I'm going
Yeah.
snowboarding this weekend, so that'll be fun.
Yeah,
That would be something to talk about if I hit anything crazy or whatnot.
that's true. It's just like rapping, bro. It's like sometimes when you don't do things for a while, like you have to do stuff to have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, it's like me with like rapping and like relationships and stuff. It's been so long that like I haven't been in a relationship. Sometimes it's hard for me to make like R&B tracks or like tracks about like girlfriends, you know?
Right.
Because it's just been like more of on like the I'm doing my own thing. There's been like occasional hookups or whatever, but it's not like baby,
Right.
you know?
Oh, no. Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, no, I feel you. That's a yeah. No, I get what you're saying though. For sure. The realm of
You know the realm, bro. You know the realm. Those eyes, bro. That's the realm.
Ah,
bro.
yeah. I was waiting for that. Yeah, exactly, bro. I feel that though, bro. I definitely I think it's just about doing more stuff and having some more experiences to talk about. So that's on
Yeah,
me, bro.
and
It's not
but
even
like I said,
necessarily
too,
right. Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be anything crazy, bro. Just like I brought up the GeoGuessr thing just because I was on YouTube and I just happened to be down that rabbit hole. Like I would just be interested to know,
Totally.
just little things like that in your life, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly. No, that's how I'm feeling too, or just having fun stuff to share with the audience, you know,
Yeah.
too on that tip where it's like, man, I just saw this crazy whatever, or did this crazy whatever.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
saw
like you
this
do
homeless
crazy
chick
stuff.
shitting in the street.
Yeah, every day.
Dude, if you saw that every day,
It's just normal, dude, at this
oh
point.
my
It's
gosh.
not great.
Dude, this one time I actually saw it, bro. It wasn't in the street, but I was at Albertsons working. I was on my break, and I was just in the parking lot, and my car was facing the bus stop.
Yeah.
And
no.
dude, I don't remember if it was a chick or guy, but it was a person, and they were just at the bus stop, like near it at least, just squatting, like taking a dump, bro. And I was like, huh?
Hello, good morning. Yeah.
While you're fucking eating a protein bar, it's like you have to stop everything you're doing.
Oh, yikes, bro. That's fucking...
Dude, I think I like started the car and then parked facing the other the other
Oh
side.
my god, you just pulled a 360 real quick.
Yeah.
Yo, let me turn
Let's
this
not
thing
do
around,
this
dude.
today. It's so disturbing watching somebody shit, bro. It's like
Yeah, dude.
it's one of the
Yeah,
grossest things ever,
100%.
bro.
Especially just some freaking crackhead out there, bro. Not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, those are not normal poops, bro.
Oh my god, she's all all twitching.
That's some
damn
like
it.
radiated meth poop or
Oh
something.
god, gross. That's fucking rough. Yeah, dude, definitely don't want that. Dang, dude, I'm sorry that happened to you. It seemed to have stuck with you.
It's okay. It was a story, man. It was a story.
Damn, dude, it's just
Yeah.
a little PTSD from it. Totally get it, dude. Anytime I see homeless, yo, do they have a bucket? Oh shit.
Yeah.
No. Damn.
Every
bro.
time I'm like, no.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, no, that's something you can't really get over. I don't
You
think.
can't.
Yeah, no, that's just not. I'm glad I haven't had to. I've just had very just normal like, oops, like like actually open the porta potty
yeah.
and you're like, oh fuck, my fault.
It's always
But
funny to
I've
see how
never
people
been
react.
straight up just seeing someone just, and up there like, what the fuck?
Just not caring
This
at all.
person's just shitting right here. I have never been in that situation. Thank goodness.
Like that is
Knock
a
on
level of
wood.
confidence that's dangerous.
Yeah, that dude.
Or
you
is
know-
that even confidence, or is that just like
No, that's just
kind of like
what would you call that?
not giving a fuck,
Yeah, it's definitely part of that. Just
or
not
like
giving a shit.
drugged up, maybe.
Just fucking yeah, dude. Honestly, just some interesting shit going on.
Yeah.
Just some alien behavior, bro. Just some non-functioning, but kind of functioning slightly, but also not quite sure what's going on type of mentality.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
It does.
I don't know.
It makes sense and it doesn't make sense, but that's what it is.
Yeah, it's just yeah, exactly.
You
That's
know?
just literally what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but I would like to, observe the the crackhead to try and understand,
Yeah.
what's really going
Well,
on.
I think it's not something that you have to actively go out there and try to observe. I think
From
it
a
just
distance,
happens.
it's
Just
kinda-
observe, bro.
Oh yeah.
Just observe.
Just observe in general. You don't. Yeah, but I want to like those dudes on Vice or whatever other shows where they just go out there and just have a bad time and like wherever they go to like Skid Row and they're like, all right guys, I'm in Skid Row today.
Yeah.
And then immediately some dudes all, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah.
So I walk you around here and I'm like, oh my god, this is so sus, bro. That's so crazy. I would not be down, but kind of down. That's kind of what I'm talking about doing.
Oh man. Dude, some of that reporting seems gnarly, bro.
Gnarls,
Like
bro.
that
but
one.
but just Albuquerque, like we don't have to go that far, bro. Is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
No, we don't.
Just downtown
don't.
for like an evening is just like, all right, got a good amount of that. That's
You'll see some stuff.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely not great. Yeah, so yeah, it's just how it is, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. We don't live in the best part, but it's also not the worst. It's kind of in the middle, man. There's crime and stuff, but
It's pretty
there's
bad.
a lot of
Over
worse
here though,
places.
we're totally not that bad.
Yeah, in this particular part of town, we're
Oh,
pretty
dude,
good.
honestly, no one knows my real name.
Zcon?
No, it's not either, bro. No one's even seen my real license, bro. Yeah, you'll see someday.
Okay.
I'll do it on episode 100.
Okay.
Episode
I'll show you my real license too.
episode 100. No, really?
Uh-huh.
I'm being dead ass, bro. Dude, I
Yeah, no,
wish
I
I
was-
wasn't.
I was kidding about mine because
But-
you know my name, but
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
episode 100. I want to see
Okay,
yours, bro.
you'll see the real one because it's, man, that'll probably be a while. So I'll be like out the clear at that point. But yeah, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be out there.
All right, dude. Well, I think that's a good note for us to end on, bro.
I agree.
All right, man.
The world shall see.
Catch you on the flip side, dude.
And that right there, y'all saw it, shook on it.